Okay, this is the Phrygian mode that I just that I, ju- that I just played. Uh, as you know, if you have been watching my latest videos, I I posted I think 3 videos about you know how to approach a a chord when you want to improvise your melody over them, such as minor seventh chord, and I went through I I went through the Dorian mode and the Ionian mode. How you can what kind of modes and or scales you can use to improvise over seventh chord, minor seven chords, and I promised you that I was going to in the next video, in this video, I was going to cover the Phrygian mode. Okay, what is the Phrygian mode? The Phrygian mode is when you play a major scale starting on the third degree, on the third note of the scale. An example, you have your major scale, C major scale, and when you start playing the C major scale on the root, all the way to octave, C octave, then you play the C major scale or C Ionian mode. Now, when you start on the second note, which is D, you play D scale. You play the D Dorian mode, which is a minor scale. Now, I I already covered those two. Now we're going to cover the next one, which is the Phrygian mode, the scale that starts on the third note, on the third degree of the major scale. But I'm not going to use the C, the C major scale. I'm going to use another scale because, as I told you in one of my videos on the subject, when I do an exercise in one key, so you need to transpose to other keys. Okay, like maybe to the all 12 keys. So I am going to use another scale. I'm going to use instead of using C minor seventh, I'm going to use B flat minor seventh. that's B flat minor 7th. Now you can well, we're going to you're going to consider that E flat, no, not E flat, that B flat minor 7th is the third, is built on the third note, on the third degree of a major scale. The only thing we need to do is to find what major scale, what Ionian mode that B flat note, that B flat is the third note 2, is the third degree 2. So we're going to do it together. We're gonna let's find the major scale that B flat, that B flat minor 7th, which we consider to be, if we the Phrygian chord. We're going to together we're going to find what major scale it is attached to. Remember, it's supposed to be B flat number 3 of a major scale. Okay, let's play the B flat minor 7th. So, okay, B flat minor 7. Now I want to know the major scale to which B flat is the number 3 note. So what I do, the trick that I do is look at the fifth, look at the fifth degree. Actually, I look at the let's see here. Yeah, look at the 5th degree, the 5th note of the minor 7th. Okay, I'm going to see this is 1, B flat, D flat, which is the 3rd, and I got F, which is the 5th. So this is D flat minor. Now if I add the 7th to it, it's a B flat. Now it is B flat minor 7. Now the note I'm looking for now is the 5th of the chord, which is F. And if I raise the 5th of the chord, which is F half step, which is going to be F sharp or G flat. Okay, that is the root of the major chord of the Ionian mode, that B flat is the number 3 note 2. Okay, so in this case it's going to be G flat major scale. Okay, hold on. It's going to be G flat major scale. Now if you go G flat, okay, that's G flat, A flat, and B flat. So see, 1, 2, 3, G flat 1, A flat 2, and B flat is the number 3 note in the key of G flat. So this is where the Phrygian mode starts. This is the root of the Phrygian mode in the major scale. The Phrygian mode is a minor scale. Okay, so since the Phrygian mode, this Phrygian mode, which is going to be, since B flat Phrygian mode is diatonic to the G flat major scale or G flat Ionian mode, so I can easily improvise a melody over B flat minor 7th. Okay, so this is, so now, okay, this is B flat minor 7. Now you can go, you can go ahead, you can play the B flat Phrygian mode over B flat minor 7. That's it. So I play one chord, just one chord, which is B flat minor 7th, B flat minor 7th, and I use the Ionian mode. I use the G flat Ionian mode, which is the G flat major chord to improvise over the B flat minor 7th chord. So it is one way to it is one of the ways you can use to improvise over any type of chord, is by using the modes. Okay, but the thing is, it's easy if you know what scale. As soon as you see a mode, and then if you could remember just by looking at the mode, or just by thinking of it, if you could remember what major scale it belongs to, or what Ionian mode it belongs to, that would make your job very easy. But you may come across a mode, a Dorian mode, and you're looking at, you got a sheet of you have a sheet music in front of you, and you see a mode, just the mode, but you don't see the scale that the mode belongs to. So now, of course, if you know what the major scale is, you can just play the scale, and then you will play the mode related to the scale. The Dorian mode or the Phrygian mode related to the scale. but you may not have that luxury all the time. So that means it is a very good practice to learn the intervals that make up the modes without even thinking about the major scales they belong to. You need to somehow understand the makeup of the different kind of intervals in half steps and whole steps, that make the structure, that make up the structures of those modes. For example, I'm gonna the one that the modes that I have covered with you. I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you how to play them. If you don't remember the scale they belong to, or if you don't have the scale in front of you, the scale is in front of you. So you can just by knowing the intervals that make them, and by knowing the locations of the intervals that make them, so you will be able to play them without even thinking about the major scales, right? Yeah, knowing the different types of intervals that make up uh, the modes, the different types of modes, will help you play the modes without even thinking about the major scales they belong to. Um, so when uh, one of the tricks that I learned is that one of the best ways to learn about intervals is to know is to concentrate on the half steps in the scales, and concentrate on the locations of the half steps in the major scales, or in any scales, or in any scale, as a matter of fact. So the half steps will give you a very will give you a, a very clear understanding of what kind of intervals and what kind of chords you're dealing with. So the for the Ionian for the Ionian mode, the Ionian mode is the major scale. This is the Ionian mode is the foundation of all the other modes, because all the other all the other modes can contain the notes of the Ionian mode, which is the major scale. Okay, so it's just like uh, a scale, with family members. You know, is that scale, the major scale is the head of the family. All the other modes in the scale, those are just members of the family. Yeah, but they have the same type. They are linked together by blood. So um, I'm going to show you. This is the Ionian Mode. This is the Ionian Mode, the major scale. The major scale. Roman numbers. Because you remember, in a major scale, each note has a number. And you have 7 notes in the scale. So you got note number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, which is a repeat of the octave of the root in octave. So like I just told you, you need to know where the half step is. So in a major scale, for example, in the Ionian mode, there are 2 half steps. One between note number 3 and 4, note number 3 and note number 4, and one between note number 7 and note number 8, which is the octave of the root. And so half step between 7 and 8. This particular interval is called leading tone. And you're going to see, I'm going to say, this is a sketch. Like I said, I have Roman numbers. 1, 2, 3. This is the major scale. That's the Ionian. This is the Ionian mode. Ionian mode, which is the major scale. This is the mother of all the other modes in this scale. That's the mother. That's the mother of all the other modes in this scale. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and look at the 2 half steps. You know, one half step is between note number 3 and 4, and the other one is between note number 7 and 8. You know, if you can do that, and you know where you're looking at, I wrote in the letter W. That means that's a whole tone. That's an entire tone. And you see between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8, I put half. That's half of a whole tone. Okay, so you can see in this in the major scale you have whole tone, half tone, whole tone, and half tone. You got 2 whole. You have 2 whole tone. You have 2 whole tones, followed by 1 half tone, followed by 3 whole tones, and ends with a half tone between 7 and 8. And if you can do that on the keyboard, you will be able to play any major scale on the keyboard easily. If you know whole, half, whole, half. Because the only thing you have to know, you know, on your keyboard, for example, if you play C and you play D, you skip C sharp, you jump to D. That's a whole tone. But if you play the note immediately after the C, which is the black note, you know, you have a half step. Okay, between C and D, you have a whole step. See where I put a W, and then between C and C sharp, you have half step. Okay, for you to play a whole step on the keyboard, you need to skip a note. You need to skip a key. You skip one, you jump. But if you want to play a half step, you need to play the note immediately after the note you on. You play the next one. You don't jump. That's half step. Okay, so if you can do that on the keyboard, you will be able to play any, if you follow that that structure, whole half, whole half, then you'll be able to play any major scale, any Ionian mode on the keyboard. Now we're gonna see the Dogen mode now. The Dogen mode is now you're gonna play you're still playing the C major scale. The only difference, you're not going to start on C, which is the root. You're going to start on the second note of the scale, which is D. There's no change in the intervals. The intervals stay the same. The notes stay the same, except you start on a different note. You start the scale on the second note instead of the C. Okay. That's your Dorian mode in the key of C major. So you're going now, the makeup of those intervals in this mode, the Dogen mode, is different, even though the intervals stay the same, but just because you start on a different note. Now the makeup of the intervals in the Dogen mode, which identifies this mode, is different from the Ionian mode. So you're gonna see now, I'm gonna show you. Okay, you're gonna see for the Dogen mode, the intervals, they're gonna be, there's gonna be 1, 2, flat 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and 8. That's the notes. That's the numbers of the notes. Those are the numbers. That's in Roman numbers that are attached. That are assigned to the keys, to the notes on the keyboard. So this one is going to be, for the Dogen mode, when you play, you're going to play 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and then of course you play the, okay, of course you play the root, which is D. So it's going to be whole step, half step, whole step, half step, and then whole step. You're going to see in the minor modes, the leading tone now is not half step. The leading tone now is a whole step. There's 7. The interval between note number 7 and 8 in the minor modes is not a half step. it is a whole step. Okay, so whole is here. Okay, there you go. This is the makeup of the Dorian mode on the keyboard when you play them. Okay, that's the Dogen mode. Now, if you are playing the Dogen mode in the key of C major, then you start on D, and then that's the way the structure looks. Okay, okay, that's it. Take a good look at it, and if you can follow this formula. Once again, the W mean the W you see. The W's mean whole step, as opposed to half step, Okay, so once again you got whole, half, whole, half, whole. That's the Dorian mode. The Phrygian mode. The Phrygian mode, you have 1, 2. Oh, I didn't put the. No, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Okay, that's just. Okay, this is the Phrygian mode. The Phrygian mode is going to be 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 8. That means the intervals are going to be half, whole, half, whole. I'm talking about steps, right? Okay, so the Phrygian mode. The Phrygian mode, starting on the third note of the major scale. In the case of C major, you start on E, and you play E, the scale of E, the Phrygian mode all the way to E octave. You see it, okay? Alright, so that's it. That's the Phrygian. If you were to play the Phrygian mode in the key of C, you would start on E. You would start with E, and then flat 2. Okay, flat 2, flat 3, 4. So you be that. Okay, flat A1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 8. That's E Phrygian mode in the key of C major. So I started this video by playing B flat, Phrygian mode in the key of G flat major. That's what I did. So B. Okay, this is a B flat minus 7, and I'm gonna play C, half step, whole step, 1 half step and 2 whole step, one half step and 2 whole steps. I'll start with 1 half step, followed by 2 whole steps. The Phrygian mode Phrygian mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going, and the second half of the Phrygian mode is going to start. On the fifth, which I call tetra chord. So it's going to be okay. It's going to be half followed by 2 whole steps. Half whole. Alright, so that's it for Phrygian mode.